All right, guys. So just want to apologize to everyone over this whole mess. Nobody foresaw this happening, and with the COVID-19 coronavirus and the government's response and how things are changing so rapidly. Apologies to anyone who moved down or came down from outside of Wellington. Again, that this is just a shame, and you know, this is a very special day for me. I've been trying to get Hay here. I've been here for 7 years, and yeah, so it was a big deal. This decision did not come lightly. So what we ended up doing was changing Hay's flights back to the US from Tuesday to today, so he's leaving this afternoon. And our intention was to make some technique videos and share them, but because of the flight change now, I don't think we're going to have time. So we decided to share how we're panicking. This is how we panic during this. We come down to the beach, smoke cigars, and are relaxing. So we're going to sit and chat. Guys, this is Hay. Everyone say hello. Welcome to Aotearoa, New Zealand. Sorry about this mess, Hay.
Hi everybody. Little frustrated about the trip, you know, but eventually in the future we're gonna meet to each other and we're gonna have good time. You know, I'm gonna save all the techniques that I plan to do for you guys here today for another day in the future. We definitely in the future gonna have a great time together. All right.
Cool. So, if you don't mind, maybe I ask you some questions while you're here. We just chat a little bit about Jiu Jitsu. So, hey, when did you get your black belt?
I got my black belt in 1997.
1997.
After 13 years training with Carlson, got all my belts from Carlson. In 1997, I got promoted black belt from him. And why now? This year I'm supposed to get my 6th degree, 25 years black belt already. You know, I'm proud to be under Carlson's chin, you know, and be under his instruction for so many years, you know. Unfortunately he passed away, but we still keep the Jiu Jitsu from Carlson Gracie alive and try to add more people in the family, you know. And the family growing every year, more people involved with the Carlson Gracie team, you know. We're very proud to represent the team, you know, because Carlson used to be the man, you know, of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Could you talk a little bit about the significance Carlson had in our Jiu-Jitsu history, what his role was, and how he influenced modern day Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Jiu-Jitsu, he's a big time important on making Jiu-Jitsu be where Jiu-Jitsu at and the actualities right now, you know, because he's the guy from his fights, MMA fights, start make the Jiu-Jitsu show up to the world and start show the Jiu-Jitsu how effective is the martial arts against the other martial arts. So in the beginning, when he started fighting MMA, the contests in Brazil is a totally different rules, you know, it's like no time limit, no gloves, you know, everything's allowed, you know, punches, elbows, you know, headbutts, you know, you're just not allowed to do like hit the privates and finger in the eyes, you know, but the rest is used to be much more realistic fights because, you know, there's no gloves, there's no limit time, you know, or one guy give up or the other guy give up or both decide to stop the fight. So it's a big, he's a big name on the Jiu-Jitsu environment, because he opened the Jiu-Jitsu for the world. Of course, Royce Gracie, his cousin, helps a lot show up the Jiu-Jitsu for the world with the first UFCs. He win like 4 contests straight, you know, Royce Gracie. And yeah, that's it. And I think Jiu-Jitsu, all the time it changed. Jiu-Jitsu is a very complex martial arts, and people always developing a new setups, you know, to go into the submissions. The submissions is still the same, but the way to get into the submissions, people always develop new things, you know. But I believe also the old Jiu-Jitsu school, it kills the new Jiu-Jitsu game, you know. The tight, you know, the no space game, you know,
pressure.
The pressure, you know. I don't care about show beautiful Jiu-Jitsu. I care about show effective jiu-jitsu, like Carlson show us all the time.
High percentage.
High percentage.
Yeah.
We're very powerful and dominate fights about break space and make tight games. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate it when we be on the top of the fights. You know.
Okay, so that said, could you talk a little bit about the competitor's mindset that perhaps Carlson instilled in you guys on how to compete well and strategy during competition in those days that you don't see today or you want to see more of today? Is it space? Is it the pressure? Is it attacking and staying on top and not so much guard play?
I think the conception about the fights, the tournaments, people change a lot. The mentality, because right now you don't see much people look for submissions on the fights. They look for points, you know, and they look for advantage. And sometimes it's very ugly to see some advanced black belts fight because they don't take much risk, because they scared to get advantage against, or they scared to risk to put some movement and the guy and give something to the opponent and the guy scores something.
Yeah.
So some fights right now, it's more interesting to watch like low belt levels because they take risks. They really open the game.
Yeah.
Then sometimes you watch a black belt fight.
Yeah.
Because you know they don't open much themselves. They don't take much risks in the athletics right now, because the rules also change. You know, like at advantage, it's things like that I don't agree about happens in the jiu-jitsu events. But you know, it's to help the referees decide who win. You know. So that's why they put these advantage. But in the end, advantage, what it is you almost got something, but in the end you don't got nothing.
Yeah.
You almost pass my guard, but I defend, I recover, but you got an advantage. But you have to play on the rules. If the guy have one advantage, I don't have anyone, I'm gonna lose.
Yeah.
So you have to be very smart in strategy. You have to put the right strategy on the fight to win the fight. Because you know right now it's very hard. The rules helps a lot. The guys like to stall in fights. You know, don't take much risk. But the rules help these people. You know what I'm saying?
So what was the strategy in your day?
My strategy is always the same: kick your ass. You know, I believe that most you can be the same than me, better than me. I never believe you're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And I have a lot of self-confidence in what I have and what I'm gonna bring to the fight.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I have to adjust my strategy. You know what I'm saying? But I always think and be aggressive and try to surprise you with something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're never gonna see fights myself like stalling fights.
No.
I'm not a stalling guy at all.
Yeah.
I take the risk. I win beautiful or I lost terrible.
That's a great mentality to have. So when you started at Carlson, what out of all the famous fighters that came out of there, who were there at that time? What year did you start training with Carlson, and who was there?
When I start training there's a few guys, they become famous after years. When I start training, Murilo Bustamante is already there training. Ricardo De La Riva is already there training.
De La Riva.
You know, De La Riva.
Yeah.
Alan Góes is already there training. Rodrigo Medeiros is already there training too.
Yeah.
You know, but Ricardo Libório come up way after. Zé Mário Sperry come way after. Valide come way after I start training. You know.
Yeah.
And
were those guys already like blue belts and purple belts when you were there?
Murilo Bustamante, Ricardo De La Riva is a purple belt. Cássio Cardoso is a big time too.
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu, no MMA, but Jiu-Jitsu, very good Jiu-Jitsu. Purple belt too. I make some instructions with him because they both, Cássio Cardoso and Ricardo De La Riva, they both become assistant from Carlson, the adults class. So sometimes Carlson doesn't teach. I enjoy the class from both.
Okay.
Ricardo De La Riva and Cássio Cardoso.
Yeah.
They big time. Carlson Gracie, good fighters from Carlson Gracie Academy. In the time when I start training. When I start training in 1981, they already De La Riva, Cássio Cardoso, purple belt. Murilo Bustamante, blue belt. Clovis, blue belt, you know.
Clovis.
Yeah. Clovis is a tough guy too.
Yeah.
Tough jiu-jitsu fighter.
Yeah.
He's a coral belt. You know, and he lives in San Francisco.
Okay.
Have a small tiny gym there.
Yeah.
There's so many names I can bring it on, you know. Then I watch and I got inspired from them and start building my jiu-jitsu game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people from Carlson Gracie school at that time when I started, they already really good and they already big time involved on my jiu-jitsu game. The jiu-jitsu that I built for myself during these many years that I'm training jiu-jitsu. You know, and that time there, everybody's a tough trainer.
Yeah.
You know, in the academy.
What was that like?
Just for you guys got an idea, on my blue belt time, that we have to do elimination inside the gym because there's me and like 10 more people, 11 more people wants to fight the tournament, and only 2 can go in the brackets. So we have to fight against each other inside the academy. There actually is a war, you know. It's a big rivalry, healthy rivalry, but you know, I want to kick everybody's ass. They want to kick my ass.
Yeah.
Cause only who's gonna be on the elimination training, be on the room with Carlson, sit down in the window and tell who's gonna go with who, and the last 2 remain. That's the last 2
they get to go to the
tournament.
Oh my God.
And people always tell, if you pass already on the elimination from Carlson Gracie school, you probably 90%, 95% chance to win the tournament.
Wow. Yeah, I bet. I believe that. So,
That's true.
So there's a very famous photo with you in it that I showed you earlier with Ricardo Laborio and Walid Ismail, Carlson Sr., Vitor Murillo, all these guys. Could you tell a little bit about the training that day? What was it for? How often did you guys get together as a group to train like that?
Yeah, when we moved to America, you know, example, at that time I barely moved from Chicago to LA because I got invited to teach on this gym. The name for the gym is LA Jiu-Jitsu Academy. It's a very famous street, a neighborhood in California, in Hollywood, in 30th Street and Crossing Heart Street. So that famous picture that goes all over the world is we training together to prepare Vitor to fight Randy Couture the first time, and Murilo Bustamante to fight against Jerry Bolander in Brazil, MMA event. So, and Carlson is located at that time in Los Angeles. He lived in Los Angeles and have his own gym in Los Angeles. But because I'm brand new in Los Angeles, we decided to make for a little while the train on my gym, on this gym that I got invited to teach. And it's a great time because we put these people. At that time everybody split, everybody's in different place, but we got a chance to put everybody together on that time to prepare these 2 guys for these big events like MMA events. One in the United States, Vitor in the United States, and Murilo Bustamante in Brazil. Against Jerry Bolander, you know. Great times, great training, everybody's tough, you know. And Carlson still strong and healthy at that time, you know. We after training, we mess to each other, against each other all the time. We talk a lot of shit to each other, you know. It's a great time, great memories, you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the good times go so fast, but everything's still here on my brain about memories, you know.
What would be Carlson's style? How would you describe his style of jiu-jitsu and what made him, kind of separated him from most everyone else at that time?
The reason why he left the Gracie family, you know, and be on his own is because his father, Carlos Gracie and Ellie Gracie, they always complain a lot about how much skills he opened for the students, and some skills they don't want to open for nobody. They want to keep closing inside the Gracie family. And Carlson started getting upset with this situation and always go against this complaint and tell Elio Gracie and Carlos Gracie he don't think it's fair. He don't show his students what he believes and works well for himself. So he liked to open his game for his people, because he wants to prepare his students to become a good fighters. So to become a good fighter, he have to open his skills 100% without any restrictions, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. So he got the point to getting very upset about the complaints all the time, so he decided to left the Gracie gym in downtown Rio de Janeiro and be on his own gym in Copacabana Beach, Figueiredo Magalhães. The gym is still alive there. You know, it changed a lot after Carlson passed away, but the door is still open there. There's people take care about the gym. But I can tell his style it's unique because, you know, like I say in the beginning, he doesn't care about show beautiful jiu-jitsu. He care always about effective jiu-jitsu, and he always appreciate and tell us to look for top game when we fight, and appreciate being on top. Today I see a lot of people give up the top and go to the battle so easy. They think it's fine, it's no problem, but I don't think so. I think if the guy pull guard to me, I'm gonna kiss this guy, I'm gonna smoke him on the battle all fight, try to keep the top for myself to the end. And that's one thing that Carlson makes the difference about game. Appreciate where you at and try don't give you nothing to get something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Always try to pressure and score before. Always look for submission, but make sure wherever you have a situation to score points, make sure you don't rush, you score the points before you go to another step. That's what I learned from Carlson, and that's what I try to use in all my jiu-jitsu career in events that I fight. And I tell you guys, I've been pretty much successful in my career in events and titles that I have and that I bring to the gym. And try to pass the same philosophy to my people, to my students. You know what I'm saying? One thing pissed me off, it's see people give up.
Yeah.
You know, because my students, I know their potential, I know their skills, and I know also when they give up. And if I see you give up, I'm gonna talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
For sure, believe me.
I can confirm this.
Lose is a part of the game. If you lose but you do your 100%, you fight with your heart, you do your best, there's no guiltiness. I'm gonna shake your hand in the end, okay, let's train for the next one. But if I see you lose because you fucking give up, fuck that.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
So hey, there's a
Live for something or die for nothing.
that's Hambo 2.
Yes.
So there's quite a famous fight. It's pretty well known in the community with you and your friend Daniel Gracie. Can you talk a little bit about the events that led up to that, which were kind of more of the rivalry between Carlson and the family, right?
Yeah. The big rivalry about teams in that time is like on the 80s, on the 90s, early 2000s, you know, is between Carlson Gracie and Barra Gracie, you know, and
Gracie Barra.
Gracie Barra.
Yeah.
And we got a big contest, you know, about challenge fights. We got five fighters from Barra Gracie on that contest, and 5 fighters from Carlson Gracie. So it's a challenge fight, 20 minutes fight, and we all 5 fights win. You know, the main event is Amaury Bittet against Gordo from Gracie Barra. And I compete on that time purple belt, Rinaldo Santos purple belt. I'm talking about the Carlson Gracie people. So Rinaldo Santos fight against Paulo Guilherme, purple belt division, 20 minutes. It's a draw fight because
20 minutes.
20 minutes. It's a draw fight because they both work like a bulls, you know, head to head all the time. 20 minutes head to head, don't do shit. Actually, no draw fight because in the end the fight like it lasted 2 minutes to the end. Paulo Guilherme pull guard to Rinaldo. Rinaldo reach half guard, so he win by the fight by half guard.
Okay.
Second fight is me against Romeo Cardoso from Gracie Barra. Supposed to be 20 minutes, by 11 minutes he wants to stop the fight, he give up. Because I put too many pressure, he opened a little bit cut on his eyes. And I said, listen, this is nothing, man, let's keep going. Oh no, we fight another day. I told him, no, another day, no, we decide this shit today. Or you lose the fight. I told the referee, if he give up, he lose. Oh yeah, for sure, if he give up, he lose. So that's another contest, purple belt. So he lose, I beat him 11 minutes. And then the next fight is Mario Sperry against Leo Dalla. Go to 20 minutes, Mario Sperry make I don't know how many points on Leo Dalla, kick his ass. And the last fight also, Amaury Bittet against Gold, also beat him by points. You know, no submission, but win. So all 5 fights, we win. And always become a big rivalry. You know, the worst rivalry for Carlson Gracie is against people from Gracie Barra. We definitely don't want to lose for that people, you know. And Carlos Gracie Jr. is the youngest brother from Carlson Gracie, my instructor. But you know, on the match they hate to each other, you know. They talk a lot of shit to each other, you know. And Carlson tell, listen, you're gonna fight somebody from Barra Gracie, so make sure you don't lose. I'm saying? That's a big issue for Carlson about somebody from her team got kick ass from somebody from Gracie Barra.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
On that times. Now Gracie Barra is a big team, a very strong team. But in that time, Carlson Gracie bring all the trophies about team from tournaments, you know, from the nationals, from the Brazilian championships, from the regional tournaments like Rio de Janeiro state tournaments. We always beat all there's not many teams on that time. There's Carlson Gracie, Gracie Barra, Alliance, Osvaldo Alves, you know, and some other small group teams, you know, that don't score much in the tournaments, you know. The three big ones on that time, on my time in Brazil, it's Carlson Gracie, Gracie Barra, and Alliance.
Yeah. And so the fight with Daniel.
The fight against Daniel is
so it started at a tournament, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fight against Daniel, I'm supposed to fight him the final for the first Brazilian championship. They used to be considered world championship.
The Mundial.
In 1990, yeah, used to be the Mundial. In 1993, so we go for the contest for the final, and Robson Gracie supposed to be the referee.
And Hobson is
Carlson's brother.
Carlson's brother.
Renzo Gracie, Ralph Gracie's daddy.
Okay, yeah.
When Carlson saw Robson step on the match to be the referee, he also stepped on the match and say, "Hey, take your belt off, give it to me. You're not gonna fight with Robson referee."
He told you he said that to you.
Carlson.
Yeah.
I say, "Carlson, let me fight. I'm gonna beat his ass." And Carlson say, "No, listen to me. Give the fucking belt, because you're not gonna fight him with Robson referee. Robson is gonna rob you."
Yeah, yeah.
I say, "I don't care, Carlson. I believe in myself. Hey, shut up. Give the fucking belt. You're not gonna fight." All the people from Carlson Gracie Academy step on the match. Carlson told everybody from the Blitz to come to the match, stop the tournament.
In protest?
In protest.
Wow.
Four matches going on at the same time. That's the first time I saw in the Jiu Jitsu tournament 4 matches in the same time.
Wow.
Because it used to be only maximum 2.
Yeah.
So you never know when you make the next fight. First fight 9 o'clock, second fight 3 o'clock, third fight 7 o'clock, final 11 o'clock p.m. midnight. It's a nightmare in that time tournament.
Yeah, yeah.
So they start putting. That's the first time I saw 4 matches in the same time in the first tournament that I went to. So Carlos Gracie, his daddy, is on the stage because he's the honor person on the tournament. So they put him on the stage and he's the big man on the event. And then he saw the situation. Carlos Gracie come out from the stage, come to the match, put his hand, hug Carlson, say, "Carlson, are you stop the tournament, Carlson? What happened?" "Oh no, Robson's gonna stole it. I don't trust Robson to be the referee." "Okay, so let's make this fight be in a neutral spot, neutral place, in another day, you know, and we film the fight and we decide who win. No referee, we film the fight." And then Carlson looked to his dad, "Okay, Papa, let's go. Okay, everybody get off the mats. Keep going the tournament now."
And so you and Daniel didn't fight that day.
Didn't fight.
You fought another day.
And then Carlson, a few weeks later, he called me, "Hey, Carlinhos called me, and he asked me if you mind to fight inside the Barra Gracie Academy." I say, "No problem, Carlson, for me. You're gonna come with me, we're gonna film the fight. There's no excuses, you know what I'm saying?"
Yeah.
So no referee, but we're gonna film. In the end, if Carlinhos think Daniel win, and I think you win, we're gonna show the fight for other black belts. Then we decide together who will win the fight.
Yeah.
But you guys saw the fight on the internet, and you guys see I have complete control about the fight. So Carlson walked to in the end of the fight to Carlos Gracie Jr. and say, "Carlinhos, any how can I, when you're
like,
not sure?"
What do you have to say, or
No, and then Carlinhos look, no, for sure, Reys the champion,
Okay.
Reys win.
Yeah.
Everybody from the Barra Gracie students, they watch the fight, but nobody say nothing.
Yeah.
Carlinhos already told me this since before we start the fight. Everybody applauds me with bad face, no, but they have to, because they see I kick Daniel's butt. On that time.
Yeah.
You know.
So there's a moment in that video when a very young Renzo Gracie comes in and you guys hug So, were you friends with Renzo? I mean, it sounds like you were friends with all these guys, regardless of the rivalry.
Renzo, we grew up together in Barra da Tijuca. You know, I know him for so many years. We great friends. You know, just for you guys got an idea. Somebody from his gym come from New York to LA, moved to LA. Instead, he tell them to go train with somebody from his family. He tell them to come train with me. Just for you guys see the consideration from him. Then we have to each other, me and Renzo. And the same way. My son right now just moved to New York to work there, and I send him to train with Renzo. Like I send 2 other people, they be under my instruction, and they moved to New York, and I told them to go train with Renzo. Cannot be a better place. You know. So we have a mutual consideration to each other, and respect to each other on the mats, and we also develop both relationships, friendly relationship, and on the mats, good relationship too. You know. And another funny thing, because I used to be on the IFL. I used to be a coach from the Sabres, and Renzo used to be a coach from the pitch bulls. No, I forget the name.
This is a team Jiu Jitsu.
Team MMA, no, MMA Jiu Jitsu.
Oh yeah.
I coached the Sabres. He coached the. I forget the name for his team. Unfortunately, I lost on the fucking contest for my people. He beat me by 3-2. Three students from three guys under his instruction win, 2 from my instruction win, 1 lost. So he win by the team in the end of the event, you know. But this is another good story about. And like I say, we respect each other, we shake hands. I say, listen, my people's gonna kick your people's ass, and then he say, I wanna see, let's see in the end who's gonna win. But everything on the good way, with a lot of respect.
Healthy rivalry.
Healthy rivalry. Yes.
So at that time, were you able to train like with your friends, like because Renzo was training elsewhere, not under Carlson, and I know Carlson kind of coined the term Crayons. Could you talk a little bit about what that means and why it was a big deal? And what the dynamics were if you wanted to go train with your friend Renzo or whomever, you know, outside of the gym.
With Renzo, he doesn't care much, you know what I'm saying, because he loves Renzo, you know. Renzo's a close friend of mine. I trained with Renzo once when Renzo is a brown belt, and he's gonna, and Junior, Carlson Gracie Jr., also my instructor too, after Carlson Gracie Sr., he go there to make some private class with Renzo Gracie, Carlson Gracie Jr., and we close to each other, me and Junior. He took me with him. So after he finished the private class with Renzo, I asked Renzo with a lot of respect, because he's a brown belt and I'm blue belt, and I come from the school. Then we don't. If you're a low belt ranking, you don't invite a high belt ranking to train. You have to be invited.
So the higher belt would have to invite the lower belt.
The lower belt.
To train.
It's kind of disrespect from where I come from. You invite a higher belt level to train with you. You have to be invited from them to be trained.
Why is that?
I don't know, because
that's just how it is.
I think it's because time on the mats.
Yeah.
You know, and that time when I trained in Carlson School, there's 2 mats. There's the big mats for group class, and there's a small class. That's the small mat that where Carlson start first his academy, and then he rent the other space too on the same floor, but it's 2 separate rooms. So the big rooms for the beginners, white belt, blue belts, and the other room, only purple belts ahead can train on that room, or you can be invited from some high level belt, come to the other room, invite you, hey, let's go train there.
Yeah.
And there I'm allowed to go there. Okay. Besides there, you cannot go in there on the other room. So go back to the Renzo again. And then I asked Renzo with a lot of respect, Renzo, can you roll a little bit with me? For sure, hey, because we are very close friends besides the mats. And he got my back and choked me out. You know, he's a brown belt and I'm purple belt, and I'm blue belt. You know, I'm old blue belt, but you know, I cannot got almost nothing with him. And he, in the end of the training, he got my back and choked me from lapel choke from behind. I can tell he's a great game, good skills. You know.
Of course.
What I'm gonna say about Renzo, everybody knows he's a tough fighter, jiu-jitsu fighter, tough fighter. Put his ass on the road for so many years and fight a lot of events. And he also great MMA career too. Very tough fighter, very good competitor. in both ones, Jiu Jitsu and MMA.
Yeah.
You know. And
So what about Crayons?
Cleonte is like somebody, like example, is already training some school, example, somebody training like a blue belt on Carlson Gracie school. And then for any reason or no reason, he leave the academy and Carlson figured it out. He trained in some other place.
It doesn't say anything to Carlson.
Doesn't say anything to Carlson, or because they're scared to say about that to Carlson.
Yeah.
Carson's gonna talk a lot of shit, so people are scary, you know. And the truth is, I don't understand why they change gyms at that time, you know, because a very short time it happens. But then Carlson create this word. I don't know where he bring this word Cleonte, you know. But everybody left the gym and he figured out training some other place, or he understand like the student betray him. He calls Cleonte. He referred about the press. Oh, this guy's a Cleonte guy.
Yeah.
You know, don't trust the guy because he do this to me. He can do this to anybody else.
And so why? So for those of you who don't really understand, who are somewhat new to jiu-jitsu, like why is it important? I guess loyalty or staying at your gym and not going around to different places. I personally think it's important because of the amount of time your instructor invests in you, you know, and if you turn around and don't communicate anything to them and just leave, that's terrible. But I think most instructors, if you do talk to them, yeah, they may be upset, but they'll understand like, oh, I'm moving, or I lost my job, or I can't afford this place, or I whatever the circumstances are. I'm inclined to think most instructors would be okay. Would you agree, or what's your thoughts on
I
that?
disagree a little bit because, you know, especially if you spend some time in the gym and you decide to go to another gym, because usually a very short people open that situation to the instructor and tell, oh, I'm gonna leave to go train on Barra Gracie or train to Alliance. They kind of have some fear, or I don't know what's the word, but you know, they don't feel comfortable to open that situation to the instructor about tell he's gonna move gym because he's not happy in that gym, or for some reason, for the other reason, I don't know. That's not my business. But you know, I think still right now, if people, if they want to change gym, they don't be very honest with the instructor where they at in the time, and open that situation about, okay, I'm not happy in your gym, I'm gonna move to another gym, especially if the guy's a high level belt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that time, if the guy's like a purple belt or above the purple belt, Carlson call, if he figured out this guy go train, for example, Barra Gracie Barra, he's gonna call Carlinhos and say, listen, this guy's Cleonte. You know, he betrayed me, he left me, he's a purple belt, I spent a lot of time on him, he's gonna talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I still think right now, the majority of the instructors, if they figure it out, a student like at least like a purple belt, brown belt, left that gym and go train with somebody else, they still look like and tell this guy's a Cleonte, this guy's like a traitor. You know what I'm saying? Because beginning instructor with me, and for any reason, not happy or think he's already learned enough from this guy doesn't have nothing more to pass for me new, change the gym and go train with somebody else. I don't think it's fair. I'm loyal to Carlson Gracie. I'm born and die Carlson Gracie.
Yes, sir.
For the rest of the life. I'm never gonna change the gym. Carson's not here anymore. A lot of things on the team change. Junior's the main guy right now. You know, I follow him still. You know, he's like semi-relation, friend and instructor relation. Good friend of mine. And I follow him because, you know, it's Carlson Gracie's team.
Yeah, of course.
My heart is Carlson Gracie. Forever.
So, backing up a bit about, like in your training days, what could you talk a little bit about some of the more well-known coaches now, like Ricardo Laborio and Ricardo de la Hiva and these guys? What was training with these guys like with Vitor Belfort and Alan Goes? I mean, it must have been some intense training all the time.
Intensive training. All belt levels, these guys always be intensive training, always be hard training for me. You know, always great competitors, you know. These guys like Ricardo Laborio, Alan Goes, Zamario Sperry, Amaury Bittetti, Clovis, you know, Murilo Bustamante. I always have a hard time with these guys. They're very tough competitors, you know. Someone's heavier than me, you know. But I always look for trouble. I always look for trouble trainings because, you know, I think the troubles make you stronger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make you develop better, especially your counters, you know, your defensive games, you know?
Yeah.
And I never like to train with easy people. I like to train with hard people.
Yeah.
That's how I build my game. That's how I build confidence in my game. That's why I build more confidence on my counters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Getting exposed to danger positions and behave fast, how to be in better situation. And these guys always bring these hard times for me.
Yeah.
It helps me a lot build my counter jiu-jitsu games, you know what I'm saying, and become a strong fighter, you know.
So in a school where there's a lot of aggressive top game players like in Carlson's, what would be the best way for someone to develop who's not as strong physically to develop, I guess, their guard? Like what types of training?
Avoid training with these guys.
Oh, just don't train with them. Don't do that. Don't do it.
That's my suggestion. You know, or you're gonna be home, you know, very sad, very disappointed, think your jiu-jitsu is a piece of shit, you know. So if you're not very good self-confidence about, you know,
don't knock on the door.
You're gonna guy smoke, you know, and maybe it's gonna affect you mentally. But make sure you don't lose the motivation, don't stop training. Hard times happens to make you stronger.
Yes. What's the most important thing a new practitioner can do coming into jiu-jitsu and who they have no grappling experience? Is it just time and patience showing up? Is there anything else they can do outside of jiu-jitsu to help? What do you think?
I believe to make your jiu-jitsu grow and getting better and stronger is spend time on the mats, you know what I'm saying? And you have to prioritize your jiu-jitsu training. That's the main thing. For me, it's the main thing. I do weights, but not very heavy. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I do weights besides the jiu-jitsu mats to make my joints kind of strong because jiu-jitsu is a very traumatic on the joints. So you need to do some weights too besides the mats. But the priority for conditioning on the mats, it's be on the mats and roll.
Yeah.
You know, in training. More you train, more you build your stamina from the mats, and better you control your adrenaline, better you control your stamina during the training. Time on the mats. That's what means a lot for you build your jiu-jitsu and make your jiu-jitsu stronger, make your conditioning stronger. It doesn't make sense to do a lot of things before you step on the mats, because when you step on the mats, you're gonna be tired.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu is a very intensive workout. You know, you lift weights on jiu-jitsu training, you do cardio in jiu-jitsu training, you do pretty much everything. It's like swimming. You move your body completely all the time, full time, you know. But I believe if you have some time after you rest, after your jiu-jitsu training, focus on your cardiovascular. Because right now, a lot of fights getting decided who has the best cardio. Who controls better the adrenaline during the fight. Yeah. Because if you let the adrenaline control you, you don't control her, your stamina is gonna disappear, the guy's gonna kick your ass. Simple like that.
What would you recommend to practitioners who hit, you know, it's peaks and valleys, like you feel good one week, you feel bad the next week, you feel great or feel like you're learning a lot, and then you think you're not getting any better for months? Like, what would you say to those people who think that they've stalled in getting better?
I think you don't have to think that way, you know. One day at a time. Sometimes you got good trainings for yourself, and you beat the guy in your training. Sometimes you got beat. This is a part of the game, you know. Just don't lose motivation because you got beat in some days. Just understand why you got beat and try to fix the mistakes. Mistakes happens to be fixed, you know. And don't be dismotivated because you got your ass kicked some days. It happens. Like I said before, it can make you stronger. If you don't let that lose affect your mind. You know what I'm saying? Lose a part of the game, but make sure you always fight intensive. Always put your heart when you're training. You know, always pay attention where you at. You know, and if you got beat on that day, don't take it like a don't take it like a dismotivation. You know, take it like a learning process. It happens to make you stronger. It happens to make you fix the gaps where you're weak. You know what I'm saying? That's a good advice too. Try working your weakness. Whatever you have strong in your game, keep it and make stronger. And whatever you feel weak in your game, start on that situation and try to feel more comfortable every time when you're training. Got better answers, got better skills, and build better the situations when you don't feel confidence yet. You know, that's my philosophy, that's my mentality.
I think that's good. That's good advice for all practitioners, mainly the beginners, because they tend to experience these frustrations early on, right? So now, beginners aside, let's move into the more advanced jiu-jitsu practitioners. Purple, brown, black. For instance, a new black belt. You know, a lot of people think, okay, you got the black belt, like, what's next? You know, I personally think there's a whole hell of a lot next. I can go back and relearn the fundamentals, stuff like that. What would you recommend for more advanced people as far as either their strategy, their thinking, or even their physical training? What do you think would be next for them?
You know, you become black belts doesn't mean they end the road. You know, jiu-jitsu is eternal learning. You know, always people always develop new setups, new things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think it's important if you find somebody to still have instruction that I don't have. Since Carlson passed away in 2006, I don't have instructor under anybody. You know, so I'm the kind of guy don't study much on the computer too. I don't know how to turn it on the computer. Just let you know. They call me like a caveman. I'm happy like that. But you know, I suggest you see what people doing. You know what I'm saying? You see in the tournaments what the new people, what the new generation working for, what they set up new, and all belt levels. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, sometimes, you know, it's more exciting to see purple belt fights than see black belt fights right now. Yeah. Because they take risks, you know, and the learning and the knowledge in jiu-jitsu never ends. Sometimes you learn new things from white belts, from blue belts, some details. You know what I'm saying? I have a good memory about Carlson. I approached him on the events, and I want to talk to him on the event, and he watched white belt fights. He don't want to talk to me. Hey, stop talking, man. You see, I watch the fighters, and then I look at the match. There's two white belts fight, but he watch, he pay attention. Yeah. He's the first one come to the tournament, the last one leave the tournament. Wow. Watch all fights. Mm-hmm. He cannot talk to you when he watch the fights. Doesn't matter what kind of level fight it is. He pay attention, and he told me I pick some details with the white belts. I pick some details with blue belts.
Amazing,
you know?
Amazing.
Purple belts is when you already build some battle game and top game, and you start build more confidence in both situations. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you already start build some game for yourself. That's why you become purple belt. That's the hard belt you got it from Carlson.
Yeah, purple.
I be 6 years and a half blue belt.
6.5 years.
Compete tournaments and win tournaments. Compete and win.
Wow. And
people approach Carlson, hey Carlson, you have to promote it. Hey, Carlson, listen, you the coach or I'm the coach? So shut the fuck up. Don't tell me what to do. I know when I'm gonna promote him. You know?
Wow.
So black belt, okay. Is the high ranking? No. Still stripes. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna be this year 6 stripes, black belt. After that, it's coral belt. Yeah. You know, and then coral belt.
White and black. Right?
White and black.
Yeah.
And then red belt.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna reach the red belt, but you know, I hope.
Yeah.
You know, I hope one day. You know, but it's about when you got black belt. It's about knowledge, you know. And like I say, it's that jiu-jitsu never ends learning, you know, it's eternal learning. Yeah. You know, I believe if you practice on the mats and also study on the computer, can help you build more things for your game.
Get ideas.
It's not my case because I don't play computer, but you know. What I see new is when I go to the tournaments and I see sometimes my students show me like tapes, you know, about these guys, famous guys doing what they do, and then I watch and I pay attention. You know, some things I think works, some other things I disagree. I'm never gonna bring it on. Yeah. You know, and everybody have your particular game. You know what I'm saying? And you can pick things from different fighters and try to add in your game. Yeah. Especially when you got knowledgeable like black belt. You can definitely see what's gonna help you on your game and what's not gonna help you. You know what I'm saying?
So you've been in jiu-jitsu for almost 40 years now.
36.
36 years, and I'm sure you've seen trends within the sport happen over periods of time, like perhaps
setups.
Like setups, or like there's a period where maybe everyone was doing De La Riva, and then that moved to like berimbolo, and then now it's the leg attacks. What do you think will be the next trend, and where do you see jiu-jitsu going in the future?
Good question. I don't believe much in berimbolo game. You know, I don't like much. I think berimbolo works because people leave the neck, cross over the shoulder. That's why people dive deep into your legs and start developing the berimbolo. I'm a very big fan about the old jiu-jitsu style. You know, tight, connecting, fish the neck, whatever you at on the top, like a half guard, side control, always fish the neck. Control the neck, you always keep the guy flat in both shoulders. If you let go the neck, the guy can turn it towards you. That's when shit start happening.
Yeah.
Then I don't do it. I'm on your side, I'm on a half guard, I fish your neck. Period.
Yeah.
No doubts, no questions, you know. But yeah, I think, like I say, you know, the setup is always people develop new things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to study. You have to see, because, you know, if you don't prepare for these new things, you don't know how counter, how defend, how protect yourself.
Yeah.
So it's important you be to allies and see what people do to help you don't be in troubles in realistic situations, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me light these on the car.
Yeah, go.
I go take my pill.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap things up. Hey, thanks so much for.
One thing, one advice I want to give to everybody is about treat your injuries. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because that's a big important thing. You know, I know if you have a passion for the sport, sometimes you rush to go back to the mats, but the injury is not here yet. Take an example like me. I have so many damages on my body now because, you know, because I love jiu-jitsu. I start go back to the mats before I heal well my injuries. Today I have to do a replacement hips. I push forward, I don't want to do it. But you know, I'm leaving pain 7 days, 24 hours. You know, so many surgeries I got from jiu-jitsu, like 1 itchy wrist, 2 on my nose, 4 on my knee, shoulder. You know, now replacement on the hips. That's why I start training again before I heal well the problem. You know what I'm saying? So suggestion for everybody: treat the injury. When you're not be able to train 100%, better you do technique instead you push yourself to train, because you're gonna train frustrated. You're not gonna be able to do your best. You maybe can aggravate your problem, and one day it can become chronic. You know, so suggestion: heal well the injuries, treat your body well. Your body's damaged, do technique, because also very good to build your game, to be more sharp in the timing for the technique. You know, because a lot of people love to train, but they don't focus much in repetition techniques. That's what I think is important to make you add more new tools in your game. You know, repetition and positions.
Yeah.
You know, save your body. You know, I have a funny picture of somebody sent for me, I don't remember who. After you're 40 years old and you're still training jiu-jitsu, that's where you have to put ice. The guy's completely covered, ice, full body, because everything hurts.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Hey, do you have any other closing thoughts or things you want to say about jiu-jitsu in general, or the mental training of jiu-jitsu, or anything?
Keep jiu-jitsu in your life for the rest of your life, because jiu-jitsu will help you completely in all different points in life. You know, mentally, physical. You know, it's a big therapy. You know, sometimes you go to the mats with your brain, a lot of things, a lot of bad thoughts. After you training, you can see the same thoughts but in different ways. You know, it's a great environment, very healthy environment. You know, you always see the healthy people. You always work out for yourself. You know, another advice: if your wife complains because you train jiu-jitsu, divorce her. You know, it's not a good woman for you.
Jiu-jitsu first.
Jiu-jitsu first.
Jiu-jitsu first.
Exactly.
All right, we're gonna end on that. Hey, thank you so
Women's
much.
pass. Women's come and go. Jiu-jitsu stay forever. All right, my advice.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for the interview.
Thank you, man.
Good luck for you guys in your jiu-jitsu game. You know, never stop training. All right, and always give your best. Thanks so much.
And never quit.
Never quit.